Alright guys, welcome to your 39th PHP tutorial, and in the last tutorial we covered scope, the difference between private and public variables and functions, and even though we covered how to access private variables from within a class using a public function, we're going to be covering that again, and we're also going to be covering how to change those variables. And you might be able to figure it out if you just sit down and think about it, but since this is such a huge part of working with private variables inside classes, I'm going to be covering it in detail in this tutorial, so you probably don't want to skip this one. So let's go ahead and create a class right now and name it beef, because I can't use tuna all the time. And let's go ahead and we just need one private variable, and definitely spelled that wrong. Private, yep. Come on, I'll get it eventually. Private, and call it like cow's name. Let's go ahead and make that one variable. And now, since this is a private variable, we can't access it in any way from outside this little class right here. So we can't set cow's name equal to Bucky out here, and we can't say alright, echo cow's name out here either. We have to do all of our inner workings in here. So since we don't want this variable to be useless, and we actually want to be able to change it and retrieve it from outside our class, we need to build two special functions. And these functions, and I'm not making these up, these are called setter and getter functions. Let me go ahead and setter, and we'll build our getter down here. Now, for every computer programming language where there are private variables, this is something. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm not just making this up. This isn't a cool nickname I came up with. Setter functions take a private variable and allow you to change them. For example, they can take cow's name and set it equal to Bucky, take cow's name and set it equal to Lisa. It sets a private variable. Getter functions take a private variable and retrieve it, so it would allow you to echo Bucky from out here or echo the name Lisa from out here. So anyways, it pretty much turns a private variable into a public variable by using functions that give it that functionality. So enough of me talking, let's go ahead and start coding some stuff. So in order to do this, just like the last tutorial, you need to make a public function, because if you made it private, we'd have the same problem. We can only access it in here. What we want to do is take something that's private to here and make it accessible to the rest of our program. So that's why we need a public function. And just name this set cow's name. You can name it anything you want, nothing special. And just go ahead and write x. Actually, what was I gonna say? Like the not the standards, but the convention is to write set, and then in camel casing, which means capitalize every first word. That's the conventions of what pretty much everyone uses. So anyways, now that I covered all the conventional crap, we can begin program. So anyways, what we're going to be doing is passing in a variable called x, and this x will hold a name like Bucky, Lisa, Tony, and it'll set the variable equal to that name. So let's go ahead, and in order to access any variable from inside the class, you of course use this. And what variable do we want to use? Cow's name. And let's go ahead and set that equal to variable x, just like that. So anyways, whenever we call this function and we pass in a name, now this variable, a private variable, is going to be equal to that name. And again, we can call this function from outside this class. So that is why we need this setter function. Now let me just tighten this up a bit. That's what she said. And let's go ahead and build our getter function now. And public, wow. Did you just see what I did there? I like spelled every other word wrong. Every other letter, I mean. So public and function, and now the getter is get cow's name. Easy enough. And check this out, we don't need any parameter for this since we're not passing in any new information, we're just getting the variable itself. So what we need to do is return. I should take a typing class. Alright, and now let's go ahead and this, I forgot if I had a copy still, this cow's name. So anyways, what this function does right here is changes this variable to whatever we want to change to. And what this function does right here is pretty much returns whatever variable you ask, or pretty much gives you a private variable. But since it's in a public function, and remember, anything that's public we can use outside this class, we're going to be able to use it in the rest of our program. So anyways, if you don't believe me, let's go ahead and I'll prove it to you guys right now. So the first thing we need to do to use anything in this class, whether it be public or private, is create an object. So that's cow object. It doesn't have to be cow object. I just, I thought that was a neat name. So equals new beef with no parameters. So let's go ahead, and it would probably be a good idea to, let's go ahead and echo the name right now, just so I can show you that it's not blank. Probably a good idea. But you know it's not a good idea? Putting Gatorade in your humidifier, because you might be thinking, maybe I'll kill two birds with one stone. I will quench my thirst, and I'll also humidify my room. But that is actually not a good idea. And yes, I'm talking from personal experience here. So anyways, let's go ahead and echo the cow object, and let's just go ahead and use that method. And what was that called? Let me just copy this. I'm way too lazy to type this stuff out. I got stuff to do today. Alright, get cow's name. So what this is going to do is it's not going to give you that fatal error from last time, since this is actually a valid code, just cow's name is not equal to anything right now. So this is going to echo out nothing at all. It's just going to do nothing. So now what we want to do is we actually want to change this cow's name to set it equal to something. So let's go ahead and, yeah, again, not typing all this crap out. So now what we want to do is we want to use our setter function. So set, make sure I don't type anything wrong. Set cow's name, and what do we want to set this equal to? Let's set it equal to like Sarah. So what this is going to do is it's first going to retrieve the name and echo it out. It's not equal to anything yet, so it's going to echo out nothing. Now we're going to give it a name right here. So after this, when we echo it, it's going to echo out Sarah. That's what this line of code is going to do. So now let's go ahead and change this again. This cow's name was Sarah, but it had a little sex change, and now its name is Dan Henderson. Didn't know that was possible, but guess what? It is. So now let's go ahead and copy this and echo it out one more time. So before I run this program, and first let me check for typos, make sure I didn't get Crow's name or anything like that, and got all my semicolons. Everything looks good. So anyways, what this program is going to do is this. It's going to create a new object, which pretty much gives us access to this class right here, and after that it's going to say, alright, echo out the name of the cow. Well, he doesn't have a name yet, so nothing's going to happen. And then it's going to say, alright, let's give you a name, cow. Your name is Sarah. And then let's go ahead and echo that out so we can see it. And then we say, alright, now your name is Dan Henderson. And now let's go ahead and echo that out so we can see that. And we did this through the use of setter and getter functions. And whenever we needed to set the name or change the name, what we did is we made a public function to access a private variable, and we pretty much passed in, Sarah or Dan Henderson as X, and it changed this private variable to X. And whenever we wanted to get that name or retrieve it so we could echo it out, what we did is we just said, alright, return a variable from this class and make it be cow's name. So yada yada, all this stuff you should know. So let me make sure I save that, refresh and move it over, yes, and check it out. At first it echoes out nothing, it does nothing, so that's why it starts at the beginning, and then it echoes out Sarah and then Dan Henderson. So check this out. Pretty cool, pretty flawless. We didn't get any errors at all. So again, one last time, I want to recap. Whenever you want to use a private variable, you have to use public functions in order to use it from outside that class. So anyways, that's what I wanted to say in this tutorial. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you have any questions, just ask me on my forum, and if I don't answer for you, someone will answer for you. So thank you for watching, and well, I'll see you guys next tutorial.